In this video lecture, I'm going to speak about Myasthenia gravis. And as you know that Myasthenia gravis is an autoimmune disorder. However, I would like first to show when the order comes from the brain to the muscle to the move. Actually, impulses come through the nerve ending, and within the nerve ending there are vesicles, synaptic vesicles. They are containing acetylcholine, and this acetylcholine, when it gets released in the synaptic cleft, it will bind to acetylcholine receptors in the muscle, so the muscle contracts. However, in Myasthenia gravis, as the number of these acetylcholine receptors decline, the acetylcholine release with the arrival of nerve impulses is inadequate. And actually, the number of these receptor declines may be due to the patient upregulate antibodies against acetylcholine receptors, and these antibodies, when they bind, interfere with the binding of acetylcholine to acetylcholine receptors. This is one thing. On the other hand, binding of these antibodies for a very long time may activate the complement system. And as you know that binding of antibody to the receptor, it will lead to formation of the immune complex, and the immune complex activates the classical pathway of the complement, and this activation results in formation of membrane attack complex and anaplotoxins. The anaplotoxins, these are complement A, CA3, CA4, and CA5. These short fragments of the complement components, actually they will lead to inflammation. C3A and C4A stimulate release of histamine, and in turn histamine increase capillary permeability and vasodilatation. C5 stimulate influx of the cell to the area, so increase capillary permeability and influx of cells to the area, or infiltration of cells by C5A. Together with vasodilatation, this will lead to inflammation, and in long-standing inflammation may heal with fibrosis. So this will lead to decrease in the number of the receptors, and that may lead to decrease, or may lead to muscle weakness, or in some instances temporal paralysis. Actually, the paralysis, it is not permanent, but it is temporal. And we know that when these antibodies, they sit here, they don't sit for long. So they sit and they go. So they will lead to this temporal paralysis. Uh, and as you know that this will lead to interference with acetylcholine and its specific receptor on the surface of the muscle. It will lead to myasthenia gravis or gravis, which is considered as an autoimmune disorder. And actually it is a chronic neuromuscular disease that causes weakness of voluntary muscles in face, throat, diaphragm, maybe lower limb, maybe upper limb, and the eye. And myasthenia gravis is considered as an autoimmune disorder, and that because due to the thymic abnormalities. So there is abnormality in the thymus gland, and some patients with myasthenia gravis, they get tumor of the thymus gland, whether it is malignant or not malignant, known as thymoma. So it is considered as an autoimmune disorder due to thymic abnormalities that include prominent formation of lymphoid follicles and germinal centers, an increased number of mononuclear cells and plasma cells. This is on one hand. On the other hand, the occurrence of myasthenia gravis is around 10% of newborn babies of myasthenic mother. Accordingly, the exclusive role of antibodies in myasthenia gravis or myasthenia gravis is demonstrated by the presence of the disease in the newborn babies of mother with myasthenia gravis. However, these antibodies that cause neonatal myasthenia gravis disappear actually in 1 or 2 weeks, and all signs of the disease also will disappear in 1 or 2 weeks from the newborn. And now I'm going to talk about types of myasthenia gravis. We know 3 types. Actually, it could be autoimmune, as I mentioned, or it could be neonatal myasthenia gravis or neonatal myasthenia, as the placental transfer of IgG antibodies allows passage of certain antibodies from mother who has myasthenia gravis. And as you know that this transfer of IgG antibodies starts by the 4 weeks of gestation, and it becomes very fast at the 32 weeks of gestation. The third type is that myasthenia gravis could be congenital, and this actually it is not an autoimmune condition. This is for the 3 types of myasthenia gravis. Also, we have 2 subtypes of autoimmune myasthenia gravis. The first one is ocular, and this could be the first sign of myasthenia gravis. The second subtype is generalized, and actually here the muscle get affected, usually eye muscle, muscles in the face, neck, arms, legs, and throat. So it could be difficult for the patient to speak, to swallow, lift hand over the head, and stand up from a seated position, and maybe climbing stairs. Now I'm going to talk about the immunopathogenesis responsible for myasthenia gravis. So it is actually all autoimmune disorders, not only myasthenia gravis. It is a constellation of factors. Constellation means it is not a single factor, more than one factor. The most important factor is genetic predisposition, and the precipitating factor is an environmental, for example, environmental factor infection, the most important environmental, or deficiency of vitamin D has been shown to predispose to this autoimmune disorder, or the microbiota. Microbiota, due to change, for example, of diet lifestyle, or overuse of antibiotics that alter the symbiotic relationship between the host immune system and microbiota. And also viral infection may predispose for this autoimmune disorder, I mean myasthenia gravis, and specifically or especially Epstein-Barr virus. So when Epstein-Barr virus infected B lymphocytes detected in the thymus gland, so this may actually lead to myasthenia gravis, but actually it is a hypothesis so far. And also it has been hypothesized that thymomas hold antigen that cross-react with some or certain skeletal muscle proteins and acetyl choline receptors, and thus when antibodies raised against these epitopes expressed in the thymoma, these antibodies cross-react with neuromuscular junction components and may lead to myasthenia gravis. Thank you very much, Professor Ahmed Bolad.